The easiest way to learn how to use the chef's knife is actually step by step. And the first thing is where to hold the knife. You actually hold the knife on the blade. So you make a V and you put your index finger on one side and your thumb on the other. The rest of your fingers loosely grip the handle. This is called the pinch grip because I'm actually pinching the blade. The pinch grip will give you the best control over the knife and it won't feel as big. Now you know how to hold the knife, it's actually important that you place it on the board correctly. And you actually place it in a 45-degree angle from your body. The knife will be a natural extension of your arm and you can cut for a very long time without getting tired. Now you know how to hold a knife and where to place it on the board. I'm actually going to show you how to use it. So you start with the tip of the knife on the cutting board. Then you move backwards and you go down. You move forwards with the back of the knife on the cutting board and you lift back up. As you can see, there's always a point of the knife on the cutting board. Your hand and the blade are now riding a circle in the air. Now, what is the other hand going to do? The other hand is actually called the guiding hand, and it has to be in a claw or a spider grip position on the board. Eventually, the blade is actually going to touch the most exposed knuckle. This can be your index finger or your middle finger. It's called the guiding hand because it's actually going to guide the blade and it's going to decide how big the pieces will be. If it moves back fast, the pieces will become big. If it moves back slow, the pieces will become small. We're going to cut some produce. So see how I'm putting my hand over the knife? That's so I won't cut myself. Now I'm putting the celery in the right position on the board so the knife can actually be in a 45-degree angle. I'm starting on the tip and then I'm moving backwards, and while coming down and forwards, I'm actually starting the circular motion. There's a few things that are important. The first one is that you want to actually go all the way down on each motion. So you really want to make sure that you finish the motion so each piece gets cut cleanly. You want to always cut with the back of the knife. You only use the front of the knife when you're cutting something really big. Don't put your finger on the blade. And then the last thing that makes it safe is to keep the knife straight. You might think or feel that it's safer to actually see the edge, but in reality it's much safer to hold the knife straight. When you got the circular motion down, you can try the guided cutting. So you put your hand in a claw position on the produce and you touch the blade. The hand moves back and the blade keeps following the knuckles. It's really important to make sure that everything is behind that knuckle that is actually touching the blade. Another knife that can be used for the same purposes as the chef's knife is the Santoku. Santoku is a Japanese chef's knife. It has a much straighter edge than the chef's knife. A lot of things are the same. You use it in a 45-degree angle on the board and you hold it in the pinch grip. The guiding hand also has the exact same function. What's different is the motion. Because the edge is straight, you actually drop it to the board and slightly forwards like this. When you have the motion down, you can use the guided cutting again. Make sure nothing is exposed beyond the knuckle that's touching the blade. And go slow. With the Santoku you can be extremely fast, but you want to practice first. Now you know how to use the most important knives. You really want to use the chef's knife or the Santoku 90% of the time. This will make any cutting job much easier and faster. Which of the knives you use, that's personal preference. And a lot of people like to have both on hand.